A lot about what topic to give, and there was a topic that kind of different topic that was in my head, but when I started to prepare, I changed it. Um, and the topic that was in my head was not following the Messiah. And it's a very controversial one, but I had to kind of many times in my life be alone, like for whatever reasons. One of the first experiences was I joined the movement, and I was helping out with different missions. Then we went pioneering in a new city, and there we met Danny, your mom, alongside many others also. And then I was of age to join the army service, so I had to join the army for a year and a half. And then you can say I couldn't follow the Messiah. And everyone was certain that I'll leave the movement or become confused. But for me, this was one of the most interesting times because I could build my own relationship with like true parents, with the truth, and with myself, also decide what I really want to do with my life. And there were a few moments in my life when I felt like, okay, now I'm not really part of the mainstream. I'm on my own. Do I really want to do this? And even a few times I challenged God, I felt, I don't know what place I have in this movement. I can't see how I'm contributing. And I hate to feel wasting time. So I asked God, do you have anything for me here? Because I joined because of God. I want to have a relationship with God. So I felt if there is anything God wants to show me or teach me, I would stay. But if there is nothing, I would rather find something else to do, like that. I don't know what exactly, but I would really explore things. And God always told me He has a place for me, which always confused me because I didn't see it myself. I didn't feel I belonged to whatever was happening because we're now shaken by whatever's happening now, but that's not the first time. I tell you, like, I'm in the movement nearly 30 years. And like so many things changed. So many times people were confused. They didn't know how to think about what was happening. We changed the pledge. The pledge was there for decades, and then suddenly this was changed. And so it kind of always brought me like this time when I felt alone. Always made me think, okay, why am I doing this? Like, who am I following? Am I wasting my time? Is there any meaning to do what I'm doing? And this is really the core concept that I felt again and again. This is the reason why I'm here. And it is, of course, true parents who have fulfilled the mission. They became my role models for my life. Always when I looked at them, I felt I can't really see a better person. Person with higher aspiration, higher success level in all aspects of life, including number of children, and we can look critically and say, oh, but this one's, it's like, okay, try doing this yourself. Try and be a leader of an international organization, a business leader, a media leader, a political leader, interfaith leader, a father of 14, run a church, revive Christianity in America and across the world, fight communism, and tell me how you would have done better with your kids and your family. It's an incredible life they led. And always when I look at them very realistically, I feel I don't know anyone better than this. I feel I would like to be a good parent, but what does it mean? What is a true parent? And it's interesting. I asked, because I use AI a lot, so I asked AI, go to the next slide, to give me like a picture of parents. And of course, because I use Gemini, it's the Google, so it had to be a diverse, multiracial family. So I said, I didn't say multiracial family, I said a family, a parent, sorry. I said parents, can you give me a picture of parents? And it gave me the second picture, the one on top, where the parents were white and the children were not. So I thought, this is interesting. But what was interesting is that for AI, it couldn't understand parents without children. Like, there is no concept of a parent if there are no children. you cannot be a parent if there is no children. And I thought this is quite interesting. Like, yeah, I expected it to give me two people, like man and woman, but it didn't because it doesn't mean anything. You have to show children. Uh, so I thought, okay, that's very interesting. Um, then I thought, okay, well, what does the world tell us about being a parent, or what does the world tell us we learn through our lives? So if we go to the next slide. So I asked the Gemini to draw me a map because I came across a book in the 1991, I think it was, after the collapse of the communist system. American universities were sending books, free university books to Bulgaria, and one of them was on human development. And I was very fascinated of the things that we learn as babies and then young children and then older like teenagers, and how our brains develop and how our motor skills develop and characters develop. And if you look at all this, there is one very fundamental thing missing because science doesn't care about it, and it's love. You know? And actually, I found this to be very confusing. And I've been exploring this concept over the years because, science, even though love is like a very important concept in human life, science kind of refuses to research it. So it's left to, psychology or religion. But religion will be the kind of the realm of life that will explore love in a very idealistic way in relation to God. So you will have no reference to love in life, no matter what else you study. But this is the most important part of your life. Because parents, what defines parents is that they love you. And because you don't see it, you take it for granted. You don't realize it's there. No one talks about it. So it remains completely invisible for you for the rest of your life, unless you start to research it yourself. And love is important for your marriage. Love is important for your children. You need to learn how to love. So it's very unfair, I find, that love is being censored from life. And it's because we live in a satanic world. And like the love of God is what you can say Adam and Eve lost at the time of the fall. The relationship with God, the understanding. Like I was thinking, if I'm Eve and Adam at the time of the fall, when we kind of lost the relationship with God, what did we actually lose? Adam and Eve were able to communicate with God freely one day, and next day they couldn't talk to God anymore. But also the other thing is, like what religions are trying to restore is the sensitivity of God's love around us. Because God's love is not just direct to a personal relationship, but you can feel it in nature, you can feel it in other people. It's all encompassing. You can feel it when you breathe, when you blink, when you think, or not. It's like almost like a switch in your head. It can be flipped off and you don't feel it, and you feel like life is just, we don't know what it is. Or then switch it on and it's like, wow, this is amazing. And it's just a switch. And it was turned off at the time of the fall. And it took so long time and so many people to realize that there is a God and there is more to nature, there is more to me, there is more to other people than just like, we're not just monkeys roaming around eating and cooking and having sex and causing trouble on Earth, the way that the Marxist kind of concept presents it. We're just evolved to labor monkeys. I used to think like this when I was growing up. I'm just a monkey. What differentiates me from a monkey? That I have education and I know things and I can do more things with my hands than a monkey. But it's not true. And if you go to the next slide. So this is history as presented by the principle, but it has a purpose. All this history. So all the things that happened since Adam and Eve, you can say, and even scientifically, you can say from the first human people, whoever they were, if we don't believe in Adam and Eve. Like the principle looks at it as a history of restoration, but restoration of what exactly? Because now, like, the time that comes and the time that comes after true mother passes away, it will be even more confusing because more people will come with new theologies and new explanations of things. So I feel I want to hold to the core things. And the way the principle lays out the concepts is that all this restoration has a purpose. And what's the purpose of it? Of history? It's to reconnect us back to God. So all the scholars, all the theologians, all the prophets, all the, like, Jesus came for one purpose, to show us that there is a different quality of life. Like, we don't have to feel alone. We don't have to feel like life is just this physical reality. There is a lot, like, whole dimension to it, which we can be sensitive. Like, we're designed to be sensitive towards it. Then we can enable this in ourselves. If we go to the next slide. So I asked Gemini, because I have my own conclusions about the divine principle. But I asked Gemini to use the divine principle as the only source of truth, not to reference any other information, and analyze it and tell me what is the core of the divine principle. What was the motivation for creating the world? And it made the same conclusion like myself, because I've tried to look at it from many different points, that this main motivation for creating the universe was the heart of God to find a partner to love. And because, like, the nature of God is eternal and all-knowing and everything, I feel the reason why God created the universe the way it is, and us in, like, myriads, the potential to be like billions and billions and billions of people and trillions of people, is because each one of us is unique. And God wants to know each one of us. Like, to him, each one of us is his or her child, like Heavenly Parent's child. And this artistic relationship for God is the most important. So not knowing this really makes life very dry. Like, before knowing this, like, I thought I just need an education, I need good salary, I need, maybe family, like, let's see what happens, hopefully. I was very rational. I thought, chances to find a partner in this world is very small, someone you can really understand and live a long time with, looking at the statistics, maybe you have a chance, maybe you don't have a chance to find one person like this. You're very lucky. People say you're very lucky if you find them. So I thought, that's it. But what else do you need? You need an education, you need some money to manage, and that's about it, life, really. And then this new dimension was added to my life, God and God's love. And suddenly I realized, yeah, actually, I'm created like the center of the universe. I am a connection between the spirit world and the physical world. I'm a child of God. I'm a person, I'm an individual capable, I'm individual truth body. Like, even this term, like, in your way. I'm an individual truth body. I embody the truth. I am the truth, the way God designed me. Like, all the potential and capacity to love that is in God is in me as a potential. And kind of we kind of come with this very interesting concept of perfection, like, oh, I'm not perfect, or it's like the goal is not to be perfect. Like, what is perfection? Like, I find that the True Father is explaining, like, life goes in stages. So if you're a child, you need to be kind of a good child. That's perfection for the level of child. And then as a friend or as a brother and sister, can you be a good brother and sister? On that level, that's perfection. Then can you be a good husband or wife? I mean, it's not easy. None of these stages is easy. And we don't know what it means even. So we have to figure out like what is a good brother or sister. I find that, the concept of parents, like we have all the false concepts of parents because our parents are not perfect. Like even with the first generation, I don't think anyone thinks they're perfect. So this means we don't love you in a perfect way. So you have to find a way to, the way I was thinking it, because Trufala said it will take 7 generations to restore love. Like if we make effort, if we don't make effort, maybe it takes longer. But if we make effort to restore love and bring love into ourselves and into the human family, it will take 7 generations. This is how broken we are. And I was trying to imagine it practically, and it's really, you have to make an effort to add love to life and pass on that love to the next generation and encourage them to add more love to life, to be seeking to add more love and move on like this. And in a way, if we don't keep the focus on what's the purpose of life, we don't really have reasons to do this. Because, I get distracted with jobs and like business goals I want or community, what I want to achieve. And I'm part of like many projects in town. And after a while, I feel like, oh, it's overwhelming. So I have to stop myself and say, what am I doing actually? And then I realize I just want to show love. I want to be able to love others. That's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because I want to be representative or member of a board or people, when they recognize someone wants to do something good, they actually want them to be something. But at the end of the day, I just want to give back to the community. Love. So in terms of how this expresses in our life, is if we go to the next slide, like there is from all this presentation there, if you want, I can send you the PowerPoint. It's just a summary of the principle, really. But the core concept is that the heart of God is at the core of the creation. And it's also at the core of true parents. Like when we kind of add the concept of true parents. And at the core of all of this stands the idea of serve one another in love. So with all the different iterations of theology in our movement over the years, I always ask myself one question: how does this represent God's love? Like, does it help understand God's love or it doesn't? And many times I feel confused. Like I felt confused a couple of times. And I thought, okay, I don't understand it. And many times I realize I don't understand it not because it's wrong, but because the angle I'm looking at it is wrong. So I let it run for a while, because when things run in time, you can see, like, from the results of the action, you can see if it was a good or a bad thing. And then I can kind of understand, okay, it's a good thing, and I can see how it's practiced, and I can say, okay, now I can connect to it myself. So I don't, I used to be kind of deciding, okay, one is wrong or right, and now I feel like, okay, let's give it time. They're human being, God works with them, probably this is something I don't, so let's see how it goes into the future. So the next slide is just the line of serve one another in love. And if we go to the next slide, this is a very complex one. But I asked Gemini to show all the different relationships that we are part of, like within the system of life. So we have God, then we have man and woman, and then we have our children and nature. And this represents the 3 blessings also, and all our relationships with different things in life. So if you want to study it more, I can send it to you. I don't want to go too much into depth because it will take a lot of time. But the whole idea is that this is how love is, like love of God kind of comes to us individually as man and woman. If it finds, like if we are willing to inherit it and enhance it and make it part of our lives, then it starts to express itself within the system. So then our husband can feel it, or wife, our children, and nature can feel it through us. And this is how we become the three blessings, how they're expressed to us. And I was thinking, is this really so? So if we look at life and take the principle out of life and say, okay, what do people want to achieve in life? If we don't consider principle as a fact, we say we don't know the principle. So what do people want to achieve in life? Why do they study? Because they want a job. Why do they want a job? Because they want to marry, they want to find somebody, but they want to take care of this person. So all this delay, you want to study in order to have a job, you want to make money in order to have enough money to take care of somebody, is because you want to love somebody. And in the process, you want to have things. And when you have things, you actually take care of them. You express this love for nature. And I was like, this actually, it's a universal principle that explains everything in life. Even if we take God out, this is what people want. They want the same thing. They want three blessings because we are programmed as human beings to want the three blessings. This gives us purpose for our life. Like, who wants to go to Mars and live alone there, and that's their purpose of life? And like, you find half the human population dreaming of this. It's crazy thought. Like, even Musk wants to go to Mars, but he wants to bring 1 million people there. Like, he thinks if you go alone on Mars, it's not a great life. You need a partner, you need someone. And even when they go to Mars, what's the goal when they go to Mars? They want to create oxygen and carbon dioxide. They want to plant plants. Why? Because we want nature. We want to love the nature. We don't want the barren place and just look at the rocks and this for thousands of years. It's really interesting. Like, when you look at people's mind, the way they project themselves into the future, like, they always express the three blessings. So, like, to me, it's like, okay, I can say, I accept it as part of my programming and embrace it as this is what God gave me and God is the origin of all this. Or I can say, I don't want to have anything to do with this. And then just live this way anyway, just without the core meaning of it. So, because the heart was the motivation behind the next slide, the heart was the motivation for creating everything. And actually, if you look at yourself, like, usually you need a passion to do something. It's like a desire that you want to do something, or you want to meet someone. It's your heart that drives you. And at the core of it, or as the expression of the heart, is the love. So I was thinking, like, in terms of true parents, how important are true parents to the concept of true parents? How important is the concept? Because I was thinking, okay, like, we kind of run our movement, and the world doesn't know about true parents. So how big of a problem is this that the world doesn't know about true parents? Like, how much does the idea of true parents change our lives, knowing about true parents? So imagine, like, you didn't know about true parents and it didn't mean anything to you. And that's the people that don't know about true parents. Because, like, this age, it's great age with technology, with comforts, and we have education. Like, many times I'm thinking, like, 100 years ago, if you studied, you were very rich. And usually you got your education from a religious institution. So life is very different today. Why? Because spiritually, a lot of things have changed. And, like, we know this is because of true parents, because the divine principle clearly explains it. But no one else does. And I feel many times when I look at the world, it would be so nice if people knew about true parents. Like, and many times I think it's not so much that they need special lecture. I think they just need to meet us. And we should not be ashamed to say, we are from the unification movement. Because we try this in our work in Kavan, and people don't know, first of all, who we are. They don't know who the Munis are. Even if they heard something like a long time ago, they don't know. If you go to the internet and find some negative information, if they find us like a decent person to talk to, then they have a balanced kind of view. They say, okay, there is a negative, there is this nice person, you know. And we stand for things that are very strange to the world, like we don't have random relationships. We generally understand that, you know, drinking and smoking is wrong, so we try to abstain, or uh, we don't misuse relationships. We see that the heart is the most important organ in a human being, so we don't want to violate the heart. And this kind of lifestyle is actually shocking to many people. Like I find the people we work with in Holland, like, because everyone knows this is important, but we think it's really important, and they have never met people like this. Maybe the nuns, and because we kind of don't make a big point out of it. This is just part of our life. It feels like the way when they meet us, we catalyze, and it's not us. I think it's because we received so much love until now. Like we don't realize it, but like true parents loved us. Like our parents loved us, our community loves us. We, because of the reading of texts, and we learn to love ourselves and respect ourselves, and because of it, we learn to respect others. We're just completely different quality person, and we don't look at ourselves like this because most of us, you know, don't really recognize these things for ourselves. But the moment you start to interact with people, and like we feel it in our own community, but we have a brother now that works in Bulgaria, and he organizes events and invites people, and some of them are very spiritual. And there is one lady that was invited to our center, and she was feeling fine, and then she was invited to another event which he was attending as well, and she just couldn't enter the building. She said she felt so, like, spiritually so wrong. Something was wrong. And I thought this is very interesting. Amanda was telling me some stories also about the house here and the neighbors and how relationships are built at the moment. And yeah, I really want to encourage everybody to think you are the love. You are the person. Like you may not feel it 100%, but put it to test. Go and just tell people, you know, this is me, this is what I believe. Most of the time, they don't care. And you will see how over time it catalyzes in their lives. I know it's maybe a bit confusing. It's not a kind of clear line of thought for me also, because this concept of God's love is very abstract in many ways and is revealing in many different ways through life. So every time when I talk about it, I discover new things, but it's very difficult to explain them. So I hope you get something for yourself. Yeah, and a motivation again to reconnect to God and to see true parents as the, first of all, something to look up to, but also to become yourself. We have the capacity, we have the potential. God created us as His children. And after the blessing, I fully believed actually I'm like true father. I'm late. Like I was 19 years when I got blessed. No, I was 20. 19 years I joined the church, so it was 24 when I was blessed. But I believe from this moment on, it's as if I'm now, true father was born with this kind of no original sin. So it's up to me what I do with it. Yeah, I better stop here. Thank you very much. Which one, right? loving parents and true parents, we want to thank you for our lives, for all the things we don't see, our heartbeat, our lungs absorbs oxygen, and food that gives us energy every day. All these amazing things you've given to us freely with love and with so much care and attention to detail that no matter how much we think, we cannot really comprehend all the depths and all the amazing things you anticipated for our lives that we will need in the next part of our life. Or also thank you for this, that you created us as your children, and we can experience different types of love to our life. And when we go to the spirit world, we can enter the realm and we can communicate as a spirit only, without the body. So we really hope that we can prepare ourselves by experiencing the all four spheres of love in our life. And yeah, thank you for true parents, and for both in our despair and for us, all of us, to my name, to the Lord, to the best and your family, and all my family.
Thank you.